Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs, number 53. And this is the start of a mini 5-part Sibelius series. And I'm doing this, I've been doing cycles of symphonies mostly by neglected composers because the idea was how to put together programs that could be both popular and feature works that are lesser known. Sibelius is a bit of an interesting case because, as you may know, he wrote 7 symphonies, and numbers 1, 2, and 5 get played constantly. Number 7 gets played reasonably, but it's one movement 20 minutes long, so it's kind of hard to slot in there. But it gets played. But numbers 3, 4, and 6, they might as well not even exist. 4 gets a lot of respect. It doesn't get a lot of play because it's very dark. 3 and 6, nobody can figure out, although I think they're fantastic, and I've done talks on all of them. And, of course, 7 is the one that, is on the fence. So I want to do a Sibelius program where I feature the neglected symphonies of Sibelius, or the more neglected symphonies of Sibelius. And I'm going to begin with that most neglected of them all, Lemminkäinen. Even Kullervo, his early choral symphony, that's getting a lot of attention now. I mean, I saw it in Brooklyn, so with Robert Spano conducting. I mean, it very well. And, so, I mean, if you can do it in Brooklyn, you can do it anywhere. It's like Iphigenia in Brooklyn, the Peter Q. Bach opera. Anyway, the bottom line is that Lemminkäinen consists of 4 tone poems. Lemminkäinen and the Maidens of Saari, the Swan of Tuonela, Lemminkäinen in Tuonela, or you can reverse the middle one, 2 middle ones if you want, and Lemminkäinen's Return. Now, Lemminkäinen is one of those folk hero rambunctious types. He's kind of like Till Eulenspiegel or Peer Gynt from the Ibsen poem. He runs around and gets into trouble and all kinds of stuff happens. He gets murdered. He gets reassembled by his mother with a magic rake. It's quite handy, the magic rake. And then he comes home amidst a lot of activity and fanfare. And Sibelius wrote these 4 tone poems together, and it's a symphony, and Sibelius referred to it as a symphony. But eventually, because symphonies were not made of tone poems, and Finland was kind of not the most welcoming place for musical avant-garde ideas like that, he broke them up into their individual numbers, revised a couple of them, and then sort of neglected the rest. And so it all fell apart. But later in his life, he was always wont to say that he actually wrote 9 symphonies, Kullervo, Lemminkäinen, and then numbers 1 through 7, because the Lemminkäinen tone poems immediately precede the first symphony. Now, I am a big fan of putting them back together and doing them as a symphony, because the first of them, Lemminkäinen and the Maidens of Saari, is in absolutely textbook perfect, fabulous sonata form. The finale is a rondo, basically. The Swan of Tuonela is a slow movement, and Lemminkäinen in Tuonela is kind of the odd man out. It's not really a scherzo because it's kind of spooky and creepy, but it's quick and lighter and has lots of string tremolos. I guess that qualifies it. Anyway, it's a middle movement. It's an ABA form. It's very simple. So that's basically what we got. It's a symphony, and it should be played as a symphony because it is fabulous. And also, Lemminkäinen in Tuonela works best in the context of the rest of the piece. And I just love it. And I've never heard it that way, and I've never played it myself that way. I've done the Swan of Tuonela 1 billion times. The Swan of Salmonella, the Swine of Tuonela. It has a lot of nicknames. It gets played regularly because it's one of the great English horn solos in the musical repertoire, and it's just beautifully moody and atmospheric. But, it works wonderfully as a 4-movement symphony. It has a razzle-dazzle, bang, smash ending that'll bring the house down. So the second half of the concert is the Lemminkäinen Symphony. Folks, the symphony. Fortunately, it's been recorded that way quite frequently, and so you can get it on disc and play it at home, which is what really these concert programs are for, because you'll never hear them live. Probably not. So what do we do on the first half of the program? Well, it just so happens that Sibelius isn't the only guy to use Lemminkäinen as a source of musical inspiration. The later Finnish composer Uno Klami wrote Lemminkäinen and the Adventures of Lemminkäinen on the island of Saari, which is Lemminkäinen and the Maidens of Saari, except that Sibelius is focusing on the maidens, on the sex part, of course, whereas Klami is more the adventure part. It's much more Till Eulenspiegel-y. I mean, there's all kinds of mayhem going on in this piece. It's very colorful, and it's wonderful. A wonderful, wonderful work on the same topic that it sounds somehow Finnish, but it does not sound like the Sibelius, not a bit. Klami was heavily influenced by Ravel and the French school and Impressionism, so his style is utterly different, but it's the same idea. So, I mean, you got to put them together. You just have to. And boy, is it fun. I saw this piece live. I saw it in Lahti, conducted by Osmo Venska, very, very well. I mean, a fabulous program. It began with that and included the premiere of Kalevi Aho, I think it was his 11th, the one for percussion and orchestra, which was very beautiful, in the new concert hall in Lahti, the all-wood concert hall. It's a beautiful hall, and everyone played the crap out of everything, and it was just a thrilling concert. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It was so wonderful that I forgot about that Finnish specialty pine tar ice cream, which we had for dessert after our, gala banquet thing. Yes, pine tar ice cream. I kid you not. And it tastes just like what it sounds. Anyway, but the concert was amazing. And so for the second piece after Klami, I didn't do what they did in the concert. This is my own stuff. I want to have another Finnish work, Einar Englund's first piano concerto, which I've talked about and done a video about and discussed at length. Englund is a fantastic composer, post-Sibelius, sort of in the vein of Shostakovich and Bartók, that kind of school. His first piano concerto is one of the great 20th century piano concertos. It is fun, it is perky, it's acerbic, it's like a good sorbet, it's tangy and refreshing, and the finale is a riot, absolutely a riot. It's funny and brilliant. I've talked about it before, but I just have to mention the climax, which you know how so many romantic concertos have this big climax where the piano goes banging and crashing, then there's a pause, then the orchestra comes in with a gorgeous tune. Yeah, da, 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 da. The piano's going wah, 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 with the big fat chords. Well, Klami does that, except there's no tune. There's no tune at all. It's ya da da. That's it. It's a 3-note motive. He just repeats it every way he possibly can while the piano's doing its big romantic thing. Sometimes the harmonies aren't quite what they should be. It's just genius. It's brilliant. The piece is wonderful. And it would also bring the audience to its feet. And so my first in this rare Sibelius or neglected Sibelius symphonic program thing concept here, and there will be 5 of them, is that. Klami's The Adventures of Lemminkäinen on the Island of Saari, and Englund, Piano Concerto No. 1, Intermission, and Sibelius, The Lemminkäinen Symphony, the 4 Lemminkäinen legends as a symphony. A wonderful, wonderful concert. Oh my God, listen to it at home. You'll be playing it constantly. Believe you me, it is phenomenal stuff. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the concert. Take care.